Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Brief contents of project management. In today's lecture, we will discuss project risk management, nature of risk identification, risk quantification, and project proposals. In detail, we will discuss what is a risk in project management risk, types of risk, the nature of risk identification, quantification, and project proposal. The importance of project risk management. Project risk management is the art and science of identifying, assigning, and responding to risk throughout the life of the project that we have discussed, project life cycle and life of the project, that every project have start date and end date. In the best interests of meeting a project objective, every project have their own objective. Risk management is often overlooked on the project, but it can help improve project success by helping select good project, determining the project scope, and developing realistic estimation or estimated. KPMG study found that 55% of a runway project did not risk management at all. So, what is a project risk management? The goal of project is to minimize the potential risk, to reduce the potential risk while maximizing the potential opportunity. Major process in a risk management include risk management planning, qualitative risk analysis, quantitative risk analysis. Risk management planning, deciding how to approach and plan the risk management activity, their characteristic. So in a risk management, we will decide how the approach in the risk management activity and their characteristic. Qualitative risk analysis, characterizing, analyzing risk in prioritizing. Prioritizing means ranking their effect on the project activity. So the risk should be ranked. We will identify which risk is more danger to organizations. We will rank the whole risk. So we will rank all the risk. Then we will find which risk is danger more to the project, more to the organization, and we will identify then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. In quantitative risk analysis, measuring the probability and consequence of a risk to the project. Types of risk: systematic risk and unsystematic risk. Very simply, systematic risk uncontrollable by organization, macro in nature, while unsystematic risk controllable by an organization, micro in nature. Now we will discuss more about the systematic and unsystematic risk. Systematic risk refers to the risk inherent to the entire market or market segment. Systematic risk is also known as a diversifiable risk or market risk. Affect the overall market, not just a particular stock or industry. This type of a risk is both unpredictable and impossible to completely avoid. Unsystematic risk is the risk that is inherent in a specific company or industry. By investing in a range of a company and industry, unsystematic risk can be reduced through diversification, include diversifiable risk, non-systematic risk, residual risk, and specific risk means controllable by organization. Systematic risk means the possibility or losses associated with the whole market or market segment. Unsystematic risk means risk associated with a particular industry or security. Systematic risk is controllable, where unsystematic risk is controllable. So systematic risk is uncontrollable, where unsystematic risk is controllable. Systematic risk exists due to macroeconomic factor, and unsystematic risk uh, is related to micro factor, means controllable factor. Let me explain a little more. Risk versus uncertainty. Analysis under uncertainty, the management of risk, the, the difference between risk and uncertainty. Risk, when the decision maker knows the probability of each and every state of nature, and thus each and every outcome, unexpected value of each alternative action can be determined. Uncertainty, when a decision maker has information that is not complete and therefore cannot determine the expected value of each alternative. Risk analysis. Principal contribution of risk analysis is to focus the attention on understanding the nature and extent of uncertainty associated with the some variable used in decision process, usually understood to use the financial measure in determining desirability of an investment project. Probability distribution are determined or subjectively estimated for each of uncertain variable. The probability distribution for the rate of return or net present value is founded by simulation. Both the expectation and its variability are important criteria in evaluation of a project. So this was all about risk analysis and risk versus uncertainty. Other than project risk, there may be market risk, financial risk, technological risk. Market risk: will the new product be useful to organization or marketable to other? Will user accept and use the product or services? So it is a risk. Financial risk: can the organization afford undertake the project? Question mark. Is this project is the best way to use the company financial resources? Technological risk: is the project technically feasible? Could the technology be absolute before useful product can be produced? So this is other than a project risk that we have market risk, financial risk, and technological risk. Risk identification. Risk identification is the process of understanding what a potential unsatisfactory outcome are associated with a particular project. Several risk identification tool and technique include brainstorming, that we receive information from different people, brainstorming, asking from the different people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and collect the informations. The interviewing and through SWOT analysis, through this we can identify the risk. So first, for risk, you will identify the risk, then you will rank the risk, and then you should follow the TARA model. TARA, T R A, TARA, TARA. T means transfer, A means accept, R means reduce, A means avoid. So for the risk, the easiest formula is TARA model. Transfer the risk to those who diagnose the risk. For every project, you will accept the risk, because as entrepreneur, all the time accept the risk because they generate more income. Then you will reduce the risk, and the last you will avoid the risk. So this is called thorough model regarding the risk. Transfer the risk, accept the risk, reduce the risk, and avoid the risk. Risk identification can be from process, can be from operation, can be from decision, can be from service, can be from strategies, can be from products, can be from management, can be from asset, can be from project, and can be from functions. So this is the risk identification, that from different source the risk could be occur. Regarding nature of a risk, there are two types of a risk: positive and negative. Positive risks are regarded as opportunity, and proactive measures are taken to increase them. Negative risks can compromise success of a project. Therefore, the team in a project manager must make effort to minimize these risks. Risk quantification is the process of evaluating the risk that have been identified and develop the data that will need for making decisions. In quantification of the risk, we will evaluate the risk and identify and develop the data that will need it for making decision at what should be done about them, about the risk that we have identified. What is a risk quantification? A risk quantification is the process of evaluating risks that have been identified and develop the data that will be needed for making a decision as to what should be done about them. The severity of the risk is a practical measure for quantifying a risk. So in a risk quantification, first you will evaluate and identify and develop the data. Once you develop and collect the data, then you will prioritize, then you will rank the risk. Which risk is more danger to the project? First you will identify that. Then see the second risk which make more losses for the project, more loss for the organization. Then solve the second risk, then third, then fourth, then fifth. You will identify the whole risk, then you will rank the risk. Which risk should be eliminated first, which risk should be minimized first, which risk should be reduced first, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. Project proposal: which project should be bid on? In a project proposal, we will write all the cover letter, past experience, content, summary, objective, and whole criteria that we propose to someone to give us a project. Which a project should be bid on? How should the proposal preparation process be organized and stuff? How much should be spent on preparing proposal for bids? How should the bid price be set? And what is the bidding strategy? Is it ethical? So, this is the project proposal content. Executive summary of your proposal, cover letter, nature of the technical problem that you make a proposal for that, plan for implementation of the project. You will make the entire plan to receive a project. Then how you will implement the project, you will write it. Plan for logistic support and administration of the project, the tools and equipments which is need, stuff are need. Description of the group proposing to do the work, means all the tasks and activity through work breakdown structure and through Gantt chart, and any relevant past experience that can be applied for the project. In a summary, primary selection criteria that we have discussed about the realism, capability, flexibility in use, and cost. In preparing to use a model, a firm must identify its objective and other probable impact on the project and the firm competitive ability. Model can be numeric or non-numeric that we have discussed in a previous class. That numeric model, which was present value, payback period, discounting payback period, internal rate of return, and non-numeric that we have discussed, credit cards and operating necessity, so on and so on. Numeric model can also subdivided into profitability in scoring model. So scoring model we will not discuss in this semester. We will only discuss, we have discussed the profitability. To handle uncertainty, pro forma document that we have discussed, risk analysis in simulation with sensitivity analysis are helpful. Special care should be given to the data in a project selection model. Of concern are data taken from accounting database and the effect of technological shock. So this was the lecture regarding the project importance of project risk management and types of risk, nature of risk, risk quantification, and project proposal. Thank you so much.